Our guest host tonight is the president of the Bulgarian Coaching Academy as well as a business and trade coach. Qualified and proven strategic marketing and sales professional with more than 20 years experience in managing retail networks and structures in large international companies. NLP master practitioner, master of economics and marketing from leading English universities, Lean Six Sigma expert with many postgraduate qualifications in management and sales. Please welcome Iavor Arnaoudov. Our special guest is the CEO of Sodexo Benefits and Rewards Services Bulgaria. He started his career in 1995 at McDonald's Romania as part of the first operational team on the local market. Then he has held several managerial positions in Vodafone Romania. He first joined Sodexo in early 2013, successfully building a new commercial strategy and driving innovation within the team and the organization on the Romanian market. And recently, in September 2016, was appointed as the new CEO of Sodexo Bulgaria. Please welcome Victor Cosconel. Hi.
Thanks, buddy.
Want some beer, sir?
Give a beer.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Give a beer.
Let the show begin.
I'll be tough on him. Oh, good evening.
How is everybody? It's good that we can't see you. Otherwise, I would do the tram joke. Oh, that's the biggest crowd I've ever seen in my life.
I was just about to say at the beginning, and I was brutally cut off. There's going to be two parts. A nice guy, and me not understanding myself speaking in English. So please be kind to us and do ask us questions, because those would be very, very necessary, because we barely know each other. He'll tell you now how we've actually first met, because I'll ask him the question. But the one thing I wanted to say is that this event is for you. And you're the ones to get the benefit out of it. So do ask us questions, please, or do help me to get the most out of him. Otherwise, I'll see him socially, and I'll ask him everything I want to know about him. So
maybe let's agree on that. Whenever you feel that we are going around the bush, just scream beer or something.
Let's make it funny. Okay. So, go on then. How'd you know me?
Do I know you? I don't know you, actually. We've met, which is a bit different than knowing you. We should be transparent to these guys, I think. They deserve that. They came up here. We have a business relationship. I'm working with, better said, Iavor is helping me in a project in an internal project with my company. So this is how we met, actually. Knowing it's a bit far, but we have plenty of time for that, as he offered a jacuzzi session later on upstairs.
Yeah, do you know there is a jacuzzi up there, just behind the screen? Just there. There's the VIP. Good. So, Victor in Bulgaria, why?
Well, it's just another challenge, I think. I like to think. Hopefully my family thinks the same. We are quite aligned on that, though. It came as a natural step in whatever Sodexo leadership thinks I did good probably in Romania, or not, we'll see. And Bulgaria was the typical place where at some point the previous CEO needs to go, because we are working on this mandate like many of the corporates. When the mandate expires, we need to switch. So that was my choice.
Okay, but let's go a bit further into this. Why Victor in Sodexo? Why such a pleasant guy dipping into corporate world, being a CEO? You'll tell me later how you became a CEO, because I sense there is a bit of a career ladder. Which are there any CEOs here, by the way? Just one. Do remain quiet. We'll do it for the middle management. The one thing I want to know is, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? But no, I'll ask you this question a bit later. Why such a nice guy is a hired gun and not an entrepreneur is the question I'm going to start with.
I'm not sure if I would put it that way, but if you're starting like that, let's say, typically the French companies hire only nice guys. Don't you agree with that? After I fought it against the French company 14 years, I mean, being with Vodafone, fighting against Orange, I decided to work for a French company, which was a bit puzzling all my friends. But no, actually, why not would be the question. And it's always about the people you've met. I once met a very inspirational guy, what I call the previous CEO of Bulgaria, by the way, but long time ago, who was then CEO of Sodexo Romania. And he offered me this challenge, so I switched.
Very good. So you decided to go...
It's for a person. The change that I've done, it was for a person.
If I understand correctly, you decided to move from a company making a lot of money, like Vodafone, and go to something which we don't know what really is. Sodexo, a French company?
Well, now you know me a little bit better. I've been a sales guy, that's true. But who said that for the sales guy, money is everything? Well, it's true, money is everything. But being part of the, let's say, Vodafone leadership team for Central Eastern Europe kind of enriched a little bit more my views on that. And, well, at some point you need to decide what you want to do. Job is nice, company is nice, money are good. Are you still happy or not? And I was not for only one reason. I was traveling a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. Initially it was very fun, airports, stewardess, whatever. That's myths. But after some time, when your son is saying, are you going to be home soon? You start to question yourself. So it came maybe at the right time, the moment I met this Belgian guy that I told you about. And because I'm very sensitive to people, I truly like the guy and the way he was talking about life in general and business as well. And I took this decision to stop my, let's say, pause, because I took a pause in the career life, and to go back to work.
Very good.
It was not so long, right?
Stop traveling by moving to Bulgaria, which is exactly where I'm going right now.
Easy traveling. Stop traveling, change to easy traveling.
Good. Because we had a conversation here about the Romanian clubs and how much bigger they are. And you see where I'm going now. I mean, why Bulgaria? How do you compare it to Romania? Is there any business here? Is the next question after you answer this one.
The way I see it, Bulgaria, it's a beautiful, great country. I don't feel too much of a change because I'm not a cocky Western Europe guy. I just came to Bulgaria, which seems to be very close to Romania, so I feel like home, literally. And the challenge, the way it was presented, it's raising up just the way it was presented. It's a good opportunity to learn and to face a new culture, basically. Although we are very close to each other, in the same time there are some differences. So why not? Anyway, it's better than Paris, not in terms of city, but in terms of the way we work with people.
Good. And did you start at Sodexo with CEO? This is the one thing I didn't get.
No.
Good.
No.
Well, tell us more about it then. How did you start?
So I missed that point. Yeah, I've been hired to run the commercial department of Sodexo Romania.
Good.
So
Salesman.
yeah, still sales, mostly sales. And that probably will build a stamp on my back for the whole life. Okay, big tattoo there.
Good. And this reminds me of a question I thought, mind you, I've got the answer to all the questions I'm going to ask you here if you want to.
What? Yeah.
What is a necessary quality to become a salesman, a CEO? Because I've seen two types of CEO in my career. And myself, I'm more like Victor, I must admit. But I sort of split them into finance guys and salespeople.
Okay. I'm definitely not a finance guy, not a typical one at least. I like to understand finance, that's a bit different. But as I told you, I've been all my life a sales guy, and I'm very proud of it actually, and I will not change it for anything. What it takes to be a CEO, I have no clue. And I was just about to say I have no F clue.
Mind you, some of your team are here, so
yeah, I don't mind. I think that's one of my things that I will never change. If it's something that I truly believe it and that stands out for my authenticity, I will not change it. I never targeted a CEO position per se. I tried to do my whatever job I had that I liked the best I could. And apparently at some point, some people are probably thinking, well, he might be matching a good position in that place or in that place. So that applies to all my career if I'm thinking well. And that's probably how I got all my challenges in the life offered or provoked or accepted or whatever.
Just for the benefit of the few guys here, so basically what you do is you get your middle management position, you do your job properly, and you sit and wait. Is that the recipe? Or any other tricks you can share?
Well, yes, I would take something from your question. You do your job properly, whatever position it is, and go for the next level, whatever it is.
If you get recognized, but how do you get recognized? I mean, do you have any other tricks? Go and befriend the CEO or another, international board member or something like this?
I would tell you not to do that, in my opinion, but that might work for some people. Again, I truly believe that if you are a good person, honest and fair and authentic and chasing always what you truly believe it's valuable and good for not only for you but also for people around you. Well, it might sound out of the books or some priest saying that to you, but good things are coming towards you. So even as a sales, it might sound crazy. I didn't made my sales running after the targets. Of course, I knew my targets, but I was always chasing a good deal for my customers. Which good deal for my customer means both of us are happy after. And this probably
does everybody agree? I mean, just to get some participation.
I am happy to have the interaction on that, actually.
Is that a bit too old a saying? A win-win situation? The customer and
I didn't call that, sorry.
A win-win situation when you sell, rather you're a salesperson or a CEO, when you go selling, looking for the benefit for the customer and your own benefit. I mean, this is the proper way to be done, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Good.
Well, if you ask salespeople what would be the best sale in your life, how would you define it? I hope you're going to get an answer that this is the sale where both parties go very happy about it. Not I'm just getting my commission or something.
Everybody agreed? There's a question there.
It's good that you could see it. It comes with the age, sorry.
It's from within the crowd somewhere.
Gentlemen, my name is Nick Shopov. We met earlier. In this line of thoughts about sales, do you believe there is a bad sale?
I'm sure there is a lot of bad sales. Hopefully not in my company, so hopefully not on my side, but it could happen. Everybody does mistakes. And even if you do a bad sale, it matters. It's very important what you do after it. What do you learn out of it after it? So obviously there are some bad sales.
And have you done any that you regret about?
I didn't go that.
Have you done any that you regret about?
In sales, no, because that's very much close to or very much stick to my principles. No, I missed some sales because of that, but I think that's the way you should go. If you believe in the same things, of course, everybody can make his own choices. I prefer to run away from a sale, which I know it is not going to be good either for me at the end, but definitely not good for my partner. And then we can go for these statistics with bad words and so on, going 7 times or 10 times or whatever more than the good ones. So I prefer not to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shall I say mnogo благодаря?
Mnogo благодаря.
Yeah, thank you for that. So
finance stuff aside, we need to get these guys to start preparing for the next level, right? So you have to share some secret of the trip now. Not at Sodexo, somewhere else. Or you might actually decide to go more international than Bulgaria, so some of your substitutes can be here. But any special skills which a person needs to obtain or have or be born with in order to be a successful CEO? Because, as I said before, I think you're doing a great job there.
Well, that's a wide question. We'll not finish the evening, even with me, which I'm not very good at that. Now, but first of all, what is a successful CEO? I have no clue.
Forget about it. Yeah. Tell me about the skills.
I could just remember a joke, and many of you probably know it. If you know it, say, and I will shut up. Is this journalist asking a great CEO, how did he become a great CEO? Whatever that means. And the guy says, well, that's simple. I'll give you 2 words. And the journalist is like, oh, well, 2 words only? Yes. And what is that? Great decisions, best decisions. Do you know it? So shall I stop? Okay. Then the journalist gets intrigued and he says, oh, I need more details. I mean, okay, it's good decisions, but give me a little bit more detail. How did you come up with these good decisions? And the guy said, oh, that's even more simple. I'll give you one word. And it's like, okay, one word that puzzles me. What is that one? Experience. And of course, the journalist is getting just worse and worse. He says, okay, experience. How did you make that experience? Please enlighten me. That's the last question, I promise. And then whatever great CEO was says, that's actually the same easy as the first question. Still two words, and it's very easy. It's bad decisions. So I don't know what is a great CEO, and we can debate a lot of what a CEO is supposed to do, or it means as well. I think you just need to do what you believe, truly believe it's correct, it's fair, it's aligned with whatever you committed for in terms of values and objectives. And then you just need to be very adaptive, I would say, because the world today, the way I see it, maybe since a long time ago, but I see it more and more these days, it's changing much rapidly than we change. And that's a wide topic. Are you happy? Are you happy with that? I don't care about him. if that's my team, it doesn't count. Thank you, guys.
I'm still looking for the answer. Does a CEO need to be a good salesman? And social skills, how necessary are those? Victor, this is a networking event. These guys here are here to have a drink probably, but get some contacts as well. Plus knowledge from you. But also to start learning how to, how to get the career, how to get up the career ladder.
I'm still looking for the answer too, but actually, how many times have I said actually? My son says I said that too often. So I think, yes, you need to have great people skills. On that, there is no doubt. I don't believe leaders are born leaders, although some people are much better at it, definitely. Because again, and I said that in the movie too, which by the way I didn't see tonight, it's if you are being authentic enough, if you have strong values and you stick to it, and whatever decision you take is related to those values. Luckily, your values are related to the company values, because then you feel you are working for the right the right guys. Then it's just the people you need to be very, let's say, good in managing it. And when I say managing, it's interaction, that includes a lot of social skills. And well, you are never perfect at that. You should always be able to improve and adapt and so on. So I will never be able to concretely answer to this like a receipt.
Good. But social skills outside the company or within the company as well?
I would not even put that outside, inside. Being probably a sales guy, everybody it's a potential partner in terms of something. If it's my wife, it's my partner in many aspects. If it's my customer that I do business with, of course, is my partner for the business, and sometimes even my friend, which is even better for long-term relationship, but even there are some limits. So at the end of the day, you treat a human being, and you are interacting with a human being. Doesn't matter what it is in the back.
I think that's quite transparent anyway. But I was going to ask you what your management style was, because it's a cliche question we have to go through, I guess, just to move a little bit further. What is the spirit that you like to see in your company?
I will tell you what I would love to do most of the time. I would love to do, again, what I answered in the movie, because I truly believe in that one. If you do surround yourself with the right people, definitely everything you need to do is just to stay the fuck away. Sorry, just to stay away. That was a trick one. But of course, that's a bit idealistic, and it's not my thinking. Somebody else said that. But I truly believe that's true. By the way, I'm a great fan of Simon Sinek. If you know this guy, or if you don't know, better search for him. It's not always like that, though. So defining a management style, I think it's also not easy. There are many management styles, and probably the great experience for any CEO or any manager is how to combine those styles, how to play with those, how to adapt and continuously change whatever needs to be changed. But what I would like, ideally, is to have people that I can trust and have them empowered, and then they could feel also free to challenge whatever we want to do in a positive way, of course, so we can learn, adapt, develop, innovate, all those buzzwords, but for real.
Thank you very much. The Sodexo guys, do you agree Where's the Sodexo crowd?
I heard it in the left side, actually right on the other.
Oh, they're waving, so they probably agree, but they're very quiet. You obviously depressed them, do you?
They will say, no.
We're talking about team spirit within the company, and then you get depressed people having a drink.
Guys, I'm paying the drinks, do something. See, it's working, there are sales.
Now then,
Thank you.
the other CEO in the crowd, do you have a question for us? Do you want to help me here? Good. Because we promised to be as transparent as possible here. That was our promise to each other at the beginning, right?
I don't need to promise that.
That's why he's using the F words.
I'm just wearing clothes.
But there is a question which he didn't answer, and I'll see if anyone, not tonight probably, if anyone noticed, but I'll ask him in a minute.
Sure. Hello, Victor. My name is Danica, and I am the CEO of ABO, of the Association of Bulgarian Leaders and Entrepreneurs. And since I'm a CEO of only 2 months, and the biggest issue I have faced so far is actually the people management. So I was wondering what was like the biggest problem you have ever faced with managing your teams or specific people, and what do you think is the unique approach to deal with that, like how to be from one side a friend and from the other also someone that people respect enough?
Beautiful.
You said one question, that's a bit more than
Beautiful
that.
question.
But I'm happy to take it.
Demanding.
It's from the audience, so you have to answer.
Yeah, I hope I'll be able to come back to this according to the expectations. The biggest problem I'm facing, honestly, is to try not to stay on patterns, on things that I've done in the past, and I think they are the great and the best and so on, and that should be applied still. So that's a big challenge, and my people can also challenge on that. What I'm telling from time to time when we discuss with them is to ring that alarm bell. So of course I'm tempted to come up with proposal solutions, whatever I think is best, which might not be the case in that situation, especially in another country, with another culture, with another type of persons around and so on. So I would say that's, for me, that's the biggest risk. Going for the brain, how the brain works, going for the same track and trying to do whatever I did in the past. From time to time could be something else, but this is what came to my mind right now. And I forgot what was the second one. It was the second one. Okay, how to set this barrier, if it's needed to be any barrier between a friend and a boss. I truly believe it shouldn't be a barrier in that. It should be more related to the common sense, and common sense works just fine if you and your colleagues are sharing the same values. Or you do the proper communication at least, because you might have people completely disagreeing or not having the same values, but at least they know the way of thinking and the direction and whatever you want to achieve. And this is probably where I fail also the most. Communication, constant communication is not easy. And some things in some companies, I hope Able is not one like that because it's more non-profit, might not be disclosed all the time early enough. So you need to still keep it, you need still to drive on this ambiguous way of, guys, you need to do that, cross my heart is the good thing, which it doesn't really work. So yeah, I don't think it should be a barrier, and I never think now I should be a manager, now I should be a friend. I think I should be Victor and he or she should be who it is, and just to have an open discussion. Sometimes it's not happening, and I agree, especially in French companies, but Sodexo it's a bit different. We are not selling tonight, right? You know Sodexo product service? Thank you.
No, thank you. You see, guys, when you ask a question, you normally get an answer, which is...
As a sales guy, sometimes it's hard to stop me listening.
Well, it's another matter what's more valuable, the questioning skills or the listening skills.
I will definitely go for listening skills, but I talk a lot.
I'd love to listen to you as well without asking you questions. Give him a beer. Give him a beer. We're a small society here.
Corona.
Okay, so the question he didn't give you an answer to was, as far as I remember, kyufte ili kebabche?
It sounds funny to me. Sorry for laughing. Really, it sounds funny in my ears. I don't know why. But at least I got it right. It sounds Turkish, and it is Turkish. My house owner, where I'm living right now, it's a Turkish guy. He definitely texted me the day before yesterday, he texted me just this, definitely Turkish. And I was like, what the hell is he ever mean? And then I was like, what? I've seen your interview. So yes, sorry for my reaction. I hope it's not something sensitive.
Absolutely not.
Because that's part of the culture.
Just a question about your preferences. So, answer the question. Küfte or kebapçı?
Depends how much have I been drinking or how hungry I am. I can go. My wife says this. Some words, and then you can eat everything. Yes, I can eat everything most of the times.
Guys, have you got any more questions on this CEO part? Because I want to drill a bit into his entrepreneurial spirit, which I guess is the second part which you want us to talk about.
If he's the entrepreneur, we should go sit here.
Good. Do that. I'll do that as well, because that's too
Okay.
much.
Is it good if we stay here for the entrepreneur part?
Yes, let's do that.
We can
Oh,
sit
that's
here
much
for-
better. I
unless
very
the
much
guys
more
in the
prefer
back-
it down here, because I'm more used to it, you know.
And I hate that chair, actually.
So go on.
Let's see if the organizers are happy with that, because probably they're recording. Now the rational part comes into play. Emotional was the first one. So guys, is everybody okay if we stay here? Where is Martin?
Do you want to come and join us? The small steps here.
Nobody
Be a nice
complains.
picture. Good.
So entrepreneurial part, yes.
Now you know where I was leading at the beginning when I asked you why such a nice guy became a CEO and not something different rather than starting our own business. But I guess you've got a story to tell us there, so.
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure if it's going to be that inspirational to the entrepreneurs, because
Never mind, they ask for
I
it.
was choosing
Half of them want to hear it.
I was choosing probably something that I would advise them not to choose, but I'm happy with what I choose. So I was choosing rather the comfortable direction, and it's very much related to personal stories as well. So I'm not feeling sorry for my choice at all, and I've done also some entrepreneurial activities. As I was running a place like that, almost like that, in Bucharest for a while, for 2 years, and then I went out without quitting my Vodafone job. And
Did you get bust?
no, because I went out of the business. But then crisis came and my partners went bust. So I didn't do that on purpose. That was not the plan. I didn't know that they were gonna get bust. But
Were you so good that
it was a coincidence.
when you went out of business, you couldn't continue without you?
No, I went out of business for a reason which I would probably advise people here to watch out for. When I started the business, I started with a very close friend of mine. How would you call that? It was my godson.
You got some.
Godson, okay. Yeah. No, how would you call that in Bulgarian? That was the
easy.
point. Yes, so, and we clearly define that business is business, friendship is friendship. We can fight on business, disagree and so on, but it will not affect our friendship. Well, it didn't happen exactly like that. So at some point we got a third partner. So my advice to you is find very well your partners and define some clear rules before that, and then don't do what I did, stick to the rules. So we didn't stick to the rules.
We have a question here, so
Yes,
we have
please.
to interrupt you.
Hi, so my name is Victor. So
I don't see you, but I know you.
Yeah, good. I like your name as well. Very good name.
You are hired. By the way, you are all hired. You came tonight, you are all hired. Wherever you want.
When you drink a bit more, then you start firing people, right? Just a joke. So
Too late.
talking about finding the right partners and talking about entrepreneurship. In your presentation, we heard that you are leading a very successful sales strategy in Romania. So I wanted to ask you, when you decide to make a really tough decision that is not very popular, how do you approach convincing people that this is the right decision when they oppose you?
Well, opposing, I think it's about opportunity in my way of thinking. Some people might call me naive or too optimistic or stupid, but I really think opposing and conflict in general represents an opportunity most of the times. It's hard to convey that sometimes in real life, and maybe sometimes it ends up like a successful deal you do after this opportunity, sometimes not. But everything I've met, a difficult situation, a conflict, an opposing situation, practicing a bit of listening and really willing to understand what is on the other side, I was probably lucky enough to find out solutions or ways to, let's say, put together both interests. Maybe sometimes making compromises in a way that everybody was happy with, so nothing outrageous about those. And that got me there. And this is how I was always approaching this situation. But that, I would admit, is more related to the corporate life again, not to the entrepreneurial part.
Never mind.
Because then I quit, basically. I was leaving the opportunity.
Okay, then, so maybe the toughest pitch you had to make was to your wife, convincing her to come to Bulgaria. Was that an easy pitch in terms of sales?
I cannot sell to my wife. And whoever claims he's selling to his wife is lying, I think. No, but that touches a very personal part. And it was hard to sell coming to Bulgaria because of, well, 10 years ago, I had a tragedy in my life, and it happened in Bulgaria. And some of the people here, I mean, most of the people here don't know, but some of my colleagues in the company know about that. And that's why it was so difficult, and that's why I needed to sell maybe a little bit more. But don't imagine what I'm saying selling is that I was using tricks and tips. My way of selling this one was, well, here is the opportunity, and this is the decision that we can take, which is the decision that will make you comfortable, you being my wife, and my kid after, but that is a longer story. Well, it was self-selling, let's say. So we both decided that's a moment to close this chapter and to consider that it's the opportunity to move over. And now my son, by the way, just to move from this maybe not so positive part, my son is asking me, how long are we staying in Bulgaria? And I'm saying, well, 3 to 5 years, typical CEO, let's say, expat mandate and so on. And he's like, shoot, he says, because he's not allowed to say shit. Shoot. I was like, why is that? How can we stay longer? So that's because of people like you, probably. That's because of the mountains. Thank you. That's because of the mountains that he sees around Sofia. He loves mountains and skiing and so on. So, but that reflects pretty much what we feel as well. We feel good here. It's not a very big difference, let's say, between the countries, and people are very much similar. So thank you for that, by the way. We feel almost like home here, in a good way.
Thank you for sharing, and it seems that you really found the right partner in this more personal side of your life. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no problem.
You mean this little conversation we're having, yes.
I will give you a short answer to what you asked, actually, because it was the long version. The short version, and I truly believe sometimes it's exactly like that, the best sales you are making when you are not selling. So I was not selling.
And one more question.
Oh, I know that voice.
This is Catherine. I wanted you to make a comparison about the economy and the development in terms of leading a team of well-willing people who want to succeed and who want to make true, like the companies here, all of the startups, but in an environment like Bulgaria, which is a small market in comparison with Romania, which is actually a rather larger market with much more opportunities. Your impression about how Bulgarian startups have to adapt and have to be agile, and what is the approach in Romania versus the approach in Bulgaria? Do you have any observations?
I hate you for that.
Mind you, if you don't like any
you.
questions, I can ask you something else if you want.
No. I was thinking it's a very wide, which I would love to answer, but I don't feel I have all the details, all the knowledge about the Bulgarian part. So it would be mostly perception, could be very wrong, and that's why.
It doesn't matter. It's your opinion, and we really enjoy your opinion here.
Well, for the entrepreneurs especially, but not only, but now the question is here, I would say it doesn't matter the market, stay hungry, because here is where I see that because of this hungerness, not for money necessarily, but for better things, for newer things, for succeeding, for whatever it drives them, that's what it really brings what we are chasing in corporates, and we are not very successful sometimes, the innovation and the new, whatever it is, platforms, businesses, being software and whatever. And IT and software is very close to both Bulgaria and Romania, that's what I see. It's extremely strong in Romania, and I discover this being also exactly the same in Bulgaria. I will not go into debate who's better because I had no clue. But I think that's very much related to the future, and being very open-minded. We are anyway much hungrier for this than the Western Europe. I think that's our advantage. That kind of follow your dream could work. I'm not so sure about that because I'm not a good example for this. But thinking bold, I think it should work. It should do the job for that. And I just learned that in Bulgaria, for example, it's a company quite well known in this entrepreneurship who does microsatellites. They are the worldwide leader in doing microsatellites. I mean, to me it was amazing. I had no clue about that, by the way, as I said. And that's probably the proof that whatever crazy idea you might have, and okay, some skills probably around that, and some good people around you should be able to make you go through and have a success.
Thank you.
I hope it's answering the question because
it does in many ways.